Good morning and welcome to your 2-hour delay. This is Amy Poland. I am a data coordinator, and because I am not able to be at all 3 meetings for the 3 buildings that I work in, I wanted to make sure that everybody was getting the same information about a couple of the emails that I had sent out. The 2 emails that I'm talking about in particular are for a collaboration document as well as a data tracking document. So the first thing I want to take you to is the data tracking document. And in order to access that, you'll first need to log into your email. And most of you have probably already seen the email that I had sent. And in order to open it, you just simply open your email like you would any other email and click on the link. Once you've clicked on the link, the document will then be sent to your Google Drive. And in order to access your Google Drive, you just need to come up here to this black bar at the top and click on the word that says Drive. Once you do that, you're going to have to go to another option that says Shared with Me. Because it's coming to you from a third-party person, myself, you will be clicking on this area right here that says Shared with Me. And then you can choose which document you would like to open. I'm going to go to the option that says My Drive because this particular document is within my own drive. And rather than completely showcasing Andrea or Pat Bennett, I'm going to go ahead and go to a demo data tracking spreadsheet, which should look pretty much exactly the same as the tracking spreadsheet that was sent to you. The only case this would be different is for the K-3 teachers. And the primary reason for that is because myself being generally a middle school teacher, I still need a little bit more guidance on what areas the K-3 teachers really track data in. So that's going to be one of my goals, is to work with the K-3 teachers and get an idea for where you guys are really tracking data. So I apologize for those K-3 teachers who primarily only got their names, their student names and IDs. But from 4th grade up, you should have received a document that looks very similar to this, including all of the data that was available to me at the time of creating this document. One of the main things I want you to notice is at the bottom of the page there are tabs. So we can go from left to right, from reading standards, math standards, science standards, which this particular class doesn't have because they didn't take the science OAA. And then the next 3 tabs down here that say reading, math, and science tracking. This is where I tried to think of, and Ruth Scott and Marsha Lynch, this was included on their document, to think of what are some areas that many teachers would want to track if they were tracking data. I say that because it is not they are not areas that you are forced to track data. They are simply options, recommendations, however you want to perceive that. But at any time you can right click on a column and hide it, or just go ahead and delete it for that matter. This document is now your document. I did want to give a couple of the highlights between using a Google Doc as compared to, I know we used Excel spreadsheets and kept it on the F drive for everybody. Just a couple things that might be of benefit between the 2 different options is the Google Doc does allow you to share with only the specific people that you want to share with. And for many teachers that's not going to be an issue, but for some teachers they may not want the entire school having access to the data that they are tracking. Nothing wrong with that, it's just a personal preference. So that's one benefit to the Google Doc, is you are not putting the document out on the F drive for anybody to see. You can invite anybody you want to, the principal, team teachers, to have access to the document, but it's not an open document. So that's one benefit. Another benefit is that it auto-saves. So as you're including data, it automatically saves. We all know with Google Docs that multiple people can be working on the document at the same time rather than being stuck with a read-only view. So that's a benefit. And you can change up your sharing requests at any time. Another one of my favorite features about it is you do have the ability to filter. So when I highlight this top column, I can add a filter to this top column, which allows me to filter my data. So meaning I can pull one student up to my desk at a time and show that one student only their data. Helps with privacy issues or trying to print out the entire spreadsheet and cutting along one thin line so that each student only gets their own data. You'll see that I've already put some conditional formatting in here for the OAA scores. This light blue here is supposed to be a light green. It's supposed to be the second area down. I think I'm going to have to change that color. But I just wanted you to know that this document is not a requirement. It's a suggestion. It's a possibility. It's for the people who really just don't have anywhere to start. This is a great place to start. Now the other document I want to talk to you about, if you go back to this button here that says Drive that I've already clicked on, you should have also received a document that looks something like this, that has the blue square and says your school name, either Stewart or Old West End or EBES, collaboration. And by clicking on that collaboration, this collaboration has been open to everybody within that particular school. So this collaboration is a Google Doc only available to East Broadway teachers. Now I just put it out there today, so I know there is nothing written on it except for my directions. But this is where I'm inviting everybody within the school to share ideas of data implementation that is working in your classroom, or if you have a question and you're not sure how to implement something or where to find a particular piece of data. If you're waiting for an email from me, I might not be able to get to everybody. So this allows everybody to collaborate all at once. So there are two main Google Docs, this collaboration tool as well as the data tracking. They should stay in your drive so that when you want to go back to it, it will always be going to Drive first and then Shared with Me in order to find those pieces of information. The last thing I want to share with you is a wiki page that I have been creating. The website I will show at the very end of the screencast. It's also up here at the top of the screen. But this hopefully, because I don't have access to all three schools' F drives, this will be kind of like a one-stop shop for me to be able to pass information on to all three of my schools. So you can see that I've created tabs for many of the different areas that we commonly use in data folders, collecting data, data tracking. So these items will be updated as we go. I've also included my schedule so that if at any time somebody is wondering if I'm going to be at your school or at a training, or if I switched school days around in order to make a staff meeting, I will try to keep this schedule updated. That way everybody is on the same page. And the last thing would be to just ask questions. I personally enjoy implementing data in the classroom, and I want you to feel extremely welcome to ask me how I can help implement data. If you have suggestions as to resources that I can put on this particular website, or things that I can implement within the school, please share them with me. I'm very open to that. And I like this graphic because it keeps that main idea in mind for us of our main goal as teachers is to have our students thinking and making decisions for themselves, deciding based on the data that they're looking at that they need to make a change, rather than us telling the students that they need to change something. So in the back of my mind, that's always my goal, to try to put that data and those choices in the hands of the students. So I am going to do my best to help each of you guys to work towards that goal. And if there's a way I can help, please let me know. I'm willing to help in any way. And as I promised, here is the website that I had just showed you, my email, and that is it. I hope you have a good TBT for the rest of probably hour that you have, and email if you have any questions. Thank you very much.